Hello and welcome. I'm State Representative Jerry Knowles. I represent a portion of Berks and Schuylkill counties, and I want to welcome you to this edition of Legislative Report. I'm happy to be able to say that we've taken the show on the road, and we are in beautiful downtown Tamaqua. So welcome, and I want to welcome one of my guests today. I have two guests, and my first guest is Dr. Joe Urinovich. Dr. Joe, how are you?
Fine, just great.
Well, listen, welcome to Legislative Report. Dr. Joe Urinovich is the president of TIDE, which is the Tamaqua Industrial Development Enterprises here in the Tamaqua area. And Doc, let's get right into the meat of it. Can you talk a little bit about TIDE? What is TIDE and what do you do?
Well, all the industrial development work in the greater Tamaqua area is carried out by TIDE. And TIDE's mission is to create quality job opportunities for the for the workforce in the greater Tamaqua area. And TIDE works very closely with the Chamber of Commerce, Tamaqua Chamber of Commerce, and with the Schuylkill Economic Development Corporation, known as SETCO. Our job, we together, working together in partnership, help companies locate to the Tamaqua area, or companies in the Tamaqua area help them expand their business. And we are continually providing assistance to make sure that these companies prosper.
Very good. Doc, I guess when we talk about TIDE, we always like to hear about success stories. And can you talk a little bit about what was TIDE's first success? What was their first success story?
The first success, and it was a great success, which we're all very proud of, was to locate the Air Products Specialty Gases Department to the Tamaqua area. They've been located on a site in western Rush Township. Air Products in the Tamaqua area produces electronic gases, and they employ today over 300 people. So we think it was a very big success, and we're very happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, Air Products. When we talk about Air Products, we're talking about, it's a worldwide corporation,
yes,
is it not?
Yes, it is. This group, Air Products Group that is here, is one of their divisions, makes strictly specialty gas products.
Very good. Doc, let's talk a little bit about TIDE Park. TIDE Park, as I know, as having been involved in the TIDE organization for some time, talk a little bit about the park and what companies are located in the park.
Okay. Well, first of all, TIDE owns and operates a park in eastern Rush Township in the greater Tamaqua area. It's a beautiful natural setting. It has a first-rate infrastructure, which will support the tenants in the park way into the future. It's a Pennsylvania Keystone Opportunity Zone, which helps tenants in the park with tax savings. It's located in the I-81 corridor between Scranton and Harrisburg, and therefore it's very accessible to many major markets. It's within a 500-mile radius of 40% of the nation's population and 60% of the Canadian population. It is very accessible through a network of major interstate highways. It has rail service. It also is supported and served by 3 regional airports and 2 international airports. Now, within the park, today there are 7 diverse companies operating.
Can you talk a little bit about, just briefly, the names and exactly what they do, Doc?
Sure. Well, first of all, there's a total, those 7 companies provide 470 jobs right now, and they have invested in plant and equipment approximately $68 million. Now, there's a new company right now building a facility in the park. That'll be the 8th company. Its name is Highline North America, and they're building a 38,000 square foot facility, and they will be employing 15 to 20 people when they start up, and they'll be investing $7 to $8 million in the plant and equipment. The companies today that are operating in the park include, number 1 is Highwood USA, They manufacture synthetic wood products. And those wood products are sold to other manufacturers who make outside patio furniture, outside benches, trim and cabinets for hot tubs. Then there's Gellner Industrial. Gellner Industrial produces water-based acrylic polymers. These are used in printing inks, they're used in high gloss varnishes and industrial coatings. Fox Transportation is located in the park. That's a trucking company that operates a fleet of air ride trailers, and they are able to distribute deep frozen food products. They also operate dry van and flatbed service. Another company is Veolia, North America. Now they work strictly under contract with Air Products to purify their scrubber solutions and then return them to Air Products. Silverline Manufacturing Company also is located in the park. They manufacture special effect and performance aluminum pigments. Now in the park, and most of those products go into the automotive paint industry, but they are supplying more and more other industries. They also, in the park, have a basic R&D facility and an advanced manufacturing facility, both of which have won awards for their nanotechnology that was developed in the R&D department and their advanced manufacturing of aluminum pigments. Transwestern Polymers is a company in the park. They manufacture plastic trash bags, and they distribute those. They manufacture those products for private label companies in eastern and midwestern United States. The last company operating today in the park is Elk Lighting Group. Elk assembles and distributes both indoor and outdoor lighting products throughout the United States and foreign and internationally.
Very interesting mix of small business and big business. So the company in the park, the industry that employs the most, how many are we talking about?
Well, Transwestern Polymers is the largest employer in the park, and they employ approximately 230 people.
And then the smallest would be?
I think it would be Gellner Industrial, which employs about 6 people.
Okay, well that's, Doc, I believe my understanding is that the park is very quickly filling up, that we've gotten to a point where we're looking. Are you guys out looking for new property where we can grow, where we can,
yes,
where we can place additional industries?
Yes, that's a very important point. The park right now is really, there's only one lot, about 10-acre lot left that hasn't been sold. There are some other lots. I haven't talked about the companies because they're not operating in the park right now, but several other companies have purchased lots up there. Now the last lot that's there, the 10-acre lot, we are in the process of preparing a pad-ready site for a company to come in. What I mean by a pad-ready site is that it'll be all cleared, all the infrastructure will be connected to it, water, sewer, etc. There'll be stormwater permits obtained and methods for treating stormwater. So a company just needs to come in, put a pad down, and put their building on top of it. And that's a very important project that we're working on. But that happens to be the very last site that's available within the park. Therefore, it's very important that Tide goes out and finds a new land, new site, so for industrial development for the future. And we are actively doing that right now.
What other things are you working on right now, Joe? I mean, I'm sure there's other things that you have in the...
Yes, certainly. In addition to the pad-ready site, we have a program to continue maintaining and further beautifying the Tide Industrial Park right now. We're going to be adding more lighting to the park. We're working on repairing of the roads in the park. And then, of course, one major project, in addition to looking for the new land, is to find new companies to move into the Tamaqua area.
One of the things, Doc, and I say this all the time, and I want to thank you because people need to understand that economic development is a constant battle. I mean, and it seems that people need to recognize that. They need to recognize that you may lose a company and you may lose 300 jobs. It's just a constant battle that you need to be continually working. And this is important, not only in the recruiting of new businesses or new industries, but you need to be focused just as much on helping the businesses that are here grow, because I believe that any business if it's gonna continue to succeed, it has to be growing.
Yes.
What was your background, Doc? I mean, and by the way, everything that you do, you don't get paid for this. You're a volunteer.
No, I'm a volunteer. But I enjoy very much working in the Tide organization. But getting back to your point on servicing companies, we feel in Tide that's a very important point, that when we have a company here, that we help them and continually give them the assistance and the services they need to continue to grow and prosper. Very important point. My background, getting to my background, I am a chemist by training. I went to the University of Pennsylvania, obtained a PhD in chemistry, and then worked at Air Products in Trexlertown and in the Tamaqua area. I left Air Products. I worked there for 15 years. I left Air Products and took a position as Vice President of Technology for Atlas Powder Company, which was then purchased by ICI, which is a major chemical company. And I was in charge of all their research and technology throughout the world. So then after retiring in 2000, I wanted to give back to the community, so I wanted to get involved in an organization like Tide to help. And I think Tide is the best nonprofit organization in the area where I can utilize some of my background maybe to help them succeed.
Well, Dr. Joe Urinovich, it's hard to believe that the time goes by so quickly, and this segment of the program is coming to an end. I want to thank you for the relationship that you have working with Senator Dave Argel and with me in helping create jobs and helping retain jobs here in the greater Tamaqua area. Tide is very lucky to have you as our president, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, legislative report, we'll be right back.
Did you know that Fort Indian Town Gap, located in Lebanon County, is home to Pennsylvania's only Veterans Memorial? C.J. Frederick of Westchester, Bucks County, submitted the winning design that now honors those men and women who have sacrificed their lives in defending this great country. Dedicated to the Commonwealth on October 7, 2001, the Veterans Memorial is surrounded by freestanding walls and houses an amphitheater, which can accommodate large crowds during an event. Strategically placed in the front of the amphitheater is a tomb that reminds visitors of those who gave their lives protecting the freedoms of this nation. The design suggests a war-damaged structure in which Frederick wanted to impress upon those visiting the horrific arena of war. Now you know. Did you know that Act 16 of 1999 honors one of the greatest leaders in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives? The Matthew J. Ryan Legislative Office Building, once known as the Capitol Annex, is located next to the main Capitol building and honors the late Speaker of the House, Matthew J. Ryan. Those who visit this building will observe the magnificent architectural designs providing eloquence and grandeur to the building. Known as one of the greatest members in the history of the Pennsylvania State House, Matthew Ryan started his career in the legislature in 1963 and was elected Speaker in 1981. His charisma and knowledge will forever be reflected in the building now named after this great legislative leader. Now you know.
Welcome back to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Jerry Knowles of the 124th District, and I am joined here in beautiful downtown Tamaqua by the Executive Director of the Tamaqua Area Chamber of Commerce, Linda Ulanevich. Linda, how are you today?
I'm good, Jerry. Thank you.
I want to thank you for hosting this. We usually do our show in Harrisburg, so very seldom do we get out to take the show on the road, but it's great to be here, and I thank you for hosting us.
You're welcome. Always welcome. You know that.
Well, how are things with the Tamaqua Area Chamber of Commerce?
Chamber of Commerce is doing very well. We're increasing our membership. Right now we have about 185 members, and it climbs every year. So we provide services to 185 different types of businesses, small, medium, and large, and we're doing quite well.
Yeah, you talk a little bit about this past weekend. You had a nice, it was a great event, huh?
This past weekend was our 27th Annual Heritage Festival here in Tamaqua. That's actually sponsored and coordinated by the Tamaqua Historical Society. But certainly from a Chamber's point of view, it is a great event for the community and for the surrounding area. Probably about 8,000 to 10,000 people attended it. Gorgeous weather. Great vendors. You could eat your way around the world downtown on Sunday.
Oh gosh, that's one of the. It's great, the food that you see on the street, and the train ride. I guess we had
once a year. Reading Blue Mountain and Northern brings in their passenger train, and we run fall foliage excursions. This year we were fortunate; we had one go south to New Ringgold, and two of them go north to the High Bridge, and that's always a spectacular ride, especially this time of year with the colors of the leaves and things. Exciting to be up on top of the High Bridge as well.
Oh, yes, I've done that. It is quite exciting. Yeah, I understood about 1,200 people took the train ride.
That's right, and that's great. We don't often get that many people a chance to look at the foliage in the valley up there from the High Bridge, or to even go south along the train or along the tracks to New Ringgold. So it's great, and not everybody is from town. A lot of these people who come to these festivals are from out of town, which is great for the area, brings a lot of new faces, shows off everything we've done.
Linda, those of us that are involved in government are certainly well aware of the many challenges that downtowns face today. Before we talk about the challenges, though, let's talk a little bit about the successes. Let's talk a little bit about, I often hear people that haven't been back to town for a long time. When they come back, they'll comment on this, that, or the other thing. Talk a little bit about the successes first before we go into anything.
Okay. We have approximately 12 years ago, established a Main Street program here in the community of Tamaqua, which really centers on the commercial area of the downtown. We're very fortunate that Tamaqua has the only downtown within the school district. So we really needed to do some big improvements. 12 years ago, we had a lot of vacancies. We had a lot of older storefronts from the 60s and 70s, a real kind of mishmash of things downtown. No cohesiveness to any promotions or historic preservation. The Main Street program brought all of that together. We were able, with funding through the Main Street program, which is through the state, as well as funding from the community through the borough and some private funders, we're able to do 72 facades here in the downtown, and that's a phenomenal amount of our building stock downtown has been restored. Now we're working on doing the bigger projects with historic easement programs, and that's working out quite well too. So I'm real proud of the things that we've accomplished in downtown. Several years ago, we were able to do a whole new streetscape, put in new sidewalks, new trees, new lights, some planters in the downtown area. It's made a great difference in the way the downtown looks, which also helps us in promoting the downtown for economic development and for business recruitment.
Some of the challenges that I was talking to Dr. Uranovich earlier, and we were talking about the fact that economic development is a constant battle. You're constantly battling with businesses that move in, businesses that move out. Talk a little bit about the challenges that are facing not only our downtown, but every downtown.
This is across the board, across the state, across the country, really, no matter where you go. One of the biggest challenges we have is parking. Parking is perceived as a problem in downtowns, and especially in such a tight downtown. We don't have the opportunity to do parking behind our commercial strip. Some downtowns do, and they develop it quite successfully. That's probably our biggest challenge, is when we're recruiting businesses to come in, people are always looking for parking for their business in front of their store or nearby for their customers or employees. So that's always an issue. Also, having the right mix of businesses in the downtown is important, and that can be a challenge too sometimes. So we're working on that constantly. Economic development, business development, Main Street development is a constant and continuous project.
Yeah, I think that we would all agree. I was at that, and I commend you. You had a debate last night for the commissioner candidates, and I think, and we're going to talk a little bit later about the different programs that the chamber does. But you know, they were just basically talking about what we're talking about challenges, and how important is the partnership with the local government, with state government.
None of this that we've done could be accomplished without those partnerships. We've been extremely lucky here in town and have also put in a lot of hard work to form really solid partnerships, whether it's with TIDE, the economic development people, or with PennDOT, or with the local government, or local organizations, and also most certainly with the state. We've been very lucky and worked hard at forming those and been lucky to keep them going. And it's because of that we've been successful. Without those partnerships, I believe that 3/4 of what we've accomplished would not have been accomplished.
Yeah, all of the commissioner candidates were in agreement with that everything that we do is teamwork.
Absolutely.
And there are many partners. Linda, we talked about the debate last night. That was just one program. Talk a little bit about the programs that the chamber runs and the benefits that they provide to their members.
Sure. We have, one of our biggest benefits is we run mixers or breakfasts, informative breakfasts. Every other month we have a speaker come in. Our members are invited to come in. It's usually business related. Gives our members a chance to promote their business and also provide information to our members. We also run strictly social mixers in the evening. Gives everybody a chance to just enjoy that time off in the evening, you know, have a little bit to eat, and it's just those are great. We also do a lot of promotions for our members themselves. We do email blasts every week. We let our members give us information, we send it out. We have a mailing list of approximately 300 people that we send out information to every week, and that contains events or news. We do a newsletter, we have a website, we do a member-to-member benefit, where one business member can offer to another business member a discount. And that encourages people to shop locally, including our own businesses. Oftentimes you don't find businesses willing to provide business locally. They have bigger suppliers. But by getting our members to interact like that, it's really great for everybody and for the local economy.
You know, it is so important to the local economy. I mean, it's just what other things does the chamber do? I mean, there are so many different things that I don't think people are aware of.
Well, we also are involved with a lot of the organizations in town. We have a real strong partnership with our community development group, the Tamaqua Area Community Partnership. We provide support for four other different nonprofit organizations. We do administrative. We run an art gallery. We really and truly are kind of the center. We provide tourist information. Usually when people come to town, we're the first place they stop. We're also the place that people come and give us some complaints that don't really belong to us, but we are willing always to give them the information.
When businesses are looking for somewhere to locate, why would they want to locate here in Tamaqua? What are they looking for when they're looking to locate in a downtown?
In a downtown, they're looking for a workforce, and we have an excellent workforce here. They're looking for location. The old saying, location, location, location. We have wonderful locations here on Broad Street. We have a lot of traffic through town. Of course, we're right at the crossroads of two state highways. So, we have a lot of traffic that goes through there. So it's a very highly visible town. Our borough provides wonderful services to our business people as well as the residents here in town. So our roads are pretty good here through town, and again, our borough takes care of those things. Sidewalks are great. Everything looks nice. It looks fresh, and that's important.
You talked about the workforce. What types of skills does the area workforce have to offer for both businesses and industry here in the Tamaqua area?
It goes from one end of the extreme to the other, Jerry. We have high-tech businesses that are run. Some of our chamber members are running very high-tech businesses. We have chamber members who may just look for clerks. So we run the full entire gamut. And the workforce throughout the surrounding area is excellent. Also, the Chamber has a great partnership with our local community college, with Lehigh Carbon Community College. They've just established a business enterprise center. That provides training, and they have a workforce development program up there. Provides training for all local workforce people. And then that, in turn, benefits our business and also gives us another tool to bring people into the community.
I want to thank you so much for what you do for downtown Tamaqua.
Thank you.
And people are quick to remind me that it is. I made mention one time of the Tamaqua Chamber, and they said no, it's the Tamaqua Area Chamber.
Right.
So I want to thank you, what you do.
Sure.
I want to thank the board, Dr. Urinovich, who was with us earlier. Thank you for what you do and for making our community the great community that it is.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. That's all the time we have today for Legislative Report. I want to thank you for joining us. If you have any questions regarding state government or regarding this program, please feel free to call my offices in Hamburg as well as in Tamaqua. And again, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on our next edition of Legislative Report.